10 bases of corruption: greed, hatred, dullness, conceit, wrong view, doubt, sloth, distraction, absence of sense of shame, absence of fear of blame. These are 10 bases of corruption. Therein what are 10 bases of vexation? He has done me harm, thus vexation arises. He is doing me harm, thus vexation arises. He will do me harm, thus vexation arises. He has done harm to one dear and pleasant to me, he is doing harm, he will do harm, thus vexation arises. He has done good to one not dear and not pleasant to me, he is doing good, he will do good, thus vexation arises. Or vexation arises unreasonably. These are 10 bases of vexation. P equals complete appropriately. Therein what are 10 paths of bad action? Killing beings, taking that which is not given, sexual misconduct, false speech, slanderous speech, harsh speech, frivolous speech, covetousness, ill will, false view. These are 10 paths of bad action. Therein what are 10 fetters? The fetter of lust for sense pleasure, the fetter of repulsion, the fetter of conceit, the fetter of wrong view, the fetter of doubt, the fetter of adherence to habits and practices, the fetter of lust for becoming, the fetter of envy, the fetter of meanness, the fetter of ignorance. These are 10 fetters. Therein what are 10 falseness? Wrong view, wrong thought, wrong speech, wrong action, wrong livelihood, wrong effort, wrong mindfulness, wrong concentration, false knowledge, false freedom. These are 10 falseness. Therein what is false view that has 10 bases? There is no alms giving. There is no sacrifice. There is no offering. There is no fruit or resultant of actions done rightly and done wrongly. There is no this WDRLD. There is no next world. There is no mother. There is no father. There are no beings born spontaneously. There are not in the world recluses and Brahmins who have reached the highest point, who are well practiced, who themselves having fully known, having realized this world and the next world make it known. This is false view that has 10 bases. Therein what is extremist view that has 10 bases? The world is eternal, or the world is not eternal. The world is finite, or the world is infinite. Vital principle and the body are the same, or vital principle and the body are different. A being exists after death, or a being does not exist after death, or a being exists and does not exist after death, or a being neither exists nor does not exist after death. This is extremist view that has 10 bases. Tenfold. Exposition of the occurrences of craving. Therein what are 18 occurrences of craving in connection with internal. There is I am. There is I am such an one. There is I am also. There is lam otherwise. There is I shall be. There is I shall be such an one. There is I also shall be. There is I shall be otherwise. There is lam eternal. There is lam not eternal. There is I may be. There is I may be such an one. There is I also may be. There is I may be otherwise. There is would that I may be. There is would that I may be such an one. There is would that I also may be. There is would that I may be otherwise. And ho w is there, lam. Making no distinction with regard to any state material quality, feeling, perception, mental concomitance consciousness, one gets the wish, I am. One gets the conceit, I am. One gets the wrong view, I am. When this happens there are these obsessions, I am such an one, or, I am also, or, I am otherwise. And how is there, lam such an one? I am a ruler, or I am a Brahmin, or I am a merchant, or I am an artisan, or I am an householder, or I am an ascetic, or I am a deva, or I am an human being, or I have material form, or I have no material form, or I have perception, or I have non-perception, or I have neither perception nor non-perception. Thus there is, I am such an one. And how is there, lam also? Comparing another person. As he is a ruler, so also am I a ruler, or, as he is a Brahmin. So also am I a Brahmin, or, as he is a merchant, so also am I a merchant, or, as he is an artisan, so also am I an artisan, or, as he is an householder, so also am I an householder, or, as he is an ascetic, so also am I an ascetic, or, as he is a deva, so also am I a deva, or, as he is an human being, so also am I an human being, or, as he has material form, so also have I material form, or, as he has no material form, so also have I no material form, or, as he has perception, so also have I perception, or, as he has non-perception, so also have I non-perception, or, as he has neither perception nor non-perception, so also have I neither perception nor non-perception. Thus there is, I am also. And how is there, lam otherwise? Comparing another person, as he is a ruler. I am not a ruler in the same way, or, as he is a Brahmin. I am not a Brahmin in the same way, or, as he is a merchant. I am not a merchant in the same way, or, as he is an artisan. I am not an artisan in the same way, or, as he is an householder. I am not an householder in the same way, or, as he is an ascetic. I am not an ascetic in the same way, or, as he is a deva. I am not a deva in the same way, or, as he is an human being. I am not an human being in the same way, or, as he has material form. I do not have material form in the same way, or, as he has no material form. I do not have no material form in the same way, or, as he has perception. I do not have perception in the same way, or, as he has non-perception. I do not have non-perception in the same way, or, as he has neither perception nor non-perception. I do not have neither perception nor non-perception in the same way. Thus there is, I am otherwise. And how is there, I shall be? Making no distinction with regard to any state material quality, feeling, perception, mental concomitance consciousness, one gets the wish, I shall be. One gets the conceit, I shall be. One gets the wrong view, I shall be. When this happens there are these obsessions, I shall be such an one, or, I also shall be, or, I shall be otherwise. And how is there, I shall be such an one? I shall be a ruler, or, I shall be a Brahmin, or, I shall be a merchant, or, I shall be an artisan, or, I shall be an householder, or, I shall be an ascetic, or, I shall be a deva, or, I shall be an human being, or, I shall have material form, or, I shall have no material form, or, I shall have perception, or, I shall have non-perception, or, I shall have neither perception nor non-perception. Thus there is, I shall be otherwise. And how is there, I also shall be? Comparing another person. As he will be a ruler, so also shall I be a ruler, or, as he will be a Brahmin, so also shall I be a Brahmin, or, as he will have neither perception nor non-perception, so also shall I have neither perception nor non-perception. Thus there is, I also shall be. P equals intermediate items as earlier. And how is there, I shall be otherwise. Comparing another person, as he will be a ruler, I shall not be a ruler in the same way, or, as he will be a Brahmin, I shall not be a Brahmin in the same way, or, as he will have neither perception nor non-perception, I shall not have neither perception nor non-perception, in the same way. Thus there is, I shall be otherwise. P equals intermediate items, as earlier. And how is there, I am eternal. Making no distinction with regard to any state material quality, feeling, perception, mental concomitance consciousness, I am permanent, I am durable, I am eternal, I am not subject to change. Thus there is, I am eternal. And how is there, I am not eternal. Making no distinction with regard to any state material quality, feeling, perception, mental concomitance consciousness, I shall be annihilated, I shall be destroyed, I shall not be. Thus there is, I am not eternal. And how is there, I may be. Making no distinction with regard to any state material quality, feeling, perception, mental concomitance consciousness, one gets the wish, I may be. One gets the conceit, I may be. One gets the wrong view, I may be. When this happens there are these obsessions, I may be such an one, or, I also may be, or, I may be otherwise. And how is there, I may be such an one. I may be a ruler, or, I may be a Brahmin, or, I may be a merchant, or, I may be an artisan, or, I may be an householder, or, I may be an ascetic, or, I may be a deva, or, I may be an human being, or, I may have material form, or, I may have no material form, or, I may have perception, or, I may have non-perception, or, I may have neither perception nor non-perception. Thus there is, I may be such an one. And how is there, I also may be T comparing another person. As he may become a ruler, so also I may become a ruler, or, as he may become a Brahmin. So also I may become a Brahmin, or, as he may have neither perception nor non-perception, so also I may have neither perception nor non-perception. Thus there is, I also may be. P equals intermediate items as earlier. And how is there, I may be otherwise. Comparing another person, should he be a ruler, I might not be a ruler. In the same way, or, should he be a Brahmin, I might not be a Brahmin in the same way, or, should he have neither perception nor non-perception, I might not have neither perception nor non-perception, in the same way. Thus there is, I may be otherwise. P equals intermediate items as earlier. And how is there, would that I may be. Making no distinction with regard to any state material quality, feeling, perception, mental concomitance consciousness, one gets the wish, would that I may be. One gets the conceit, would that I may be. One gets the wrong view, would that I may be. When this happens there are these obsessions, would that I may be such an one, or, would that I also may be, or, would that I may be otherwise. And how is there, would that I may be such an one. Would that I may be a ruler, or, would that I may be a Brahmin, or, would that I may be a merchant, or, would that I may be an artisan, or, would that I may be an householder, or, would that I may be an ascetic, or, would that I may be a deva, or, would that I may be an human being, or, would that I may have material form, or, would that I may have no material form, or, would that I may have perception, or, would that I may have non-perception, or, would that I may have neither perception nor non-perception. Thus there is, would that I may be such an one. And how is there, would that I also may be. Comparing another person. As he may become a ruler. Would that I also may become a ruler, or, as he may become a Brahmin. Would that I also may become a Brahmin, or, as he may have, neither perception nor non-perception. Would that I also may have, neither perception nor non-perception. Thus there is, would that I also may be. P equals intermediate items as earlier. And how is there, would that I may be otherwise? Comparing another person, as he may become a ruler. Would that I may not become a ruler in the same way, or, as he may become a Brahmin. Would that I may not become a Brahmin in the same way, or, as he may have, neither perception nor non-perception. Would that I may not have, neither perception nor non-perception, in the same way. Thus there is, would that I may be otherwise. P equals intermediate items as earlier. These are 18 occurrences of craving in connection with internal. Therein what are 18 occurrences of craving in connection with external. There is, by means of this I am. There is, by means of this I am such an one. There is, by means of this I am also. There is, by means of this I am otherwise. There is, by means of this I shall be. There is, by means of this I shall be such an one. There is, by means of this I also shall be. There is, by means of this I shall be otherwise. There is, by means of this I am eternal. There is, by means of this I am not eternal. There is, by means of this I may be. There is, by means of this I may be such an one. There is, by means of this I also may be.